Welcome back to Operation Thunderclap. It's turn 8 and it is now, what is it, January of 1940. In the last turn, the Germans inadvertently, well not inadvertently, but they attacked the Dutch, and as a result, the Dutch East Indies has flipped towards the Brits, which has kind of put the Japanese in a bit of a pickle. They put themselves in a pickle. Well, the Germans put them in a pickle, I guess. And as a result, we'll be declaring war on the Commonwealth. But before we get into that, let's get into our tech. So we've got improved construction at a 7 on the black dice. And then we've got ships at an 8. So let's see how we go with that. So if we can catch up to the Americans, that'd be nice. And a 1 and a 6 isn't going to do it. So, spoke too soon. All right, let's do the income increase for the Americans. So we get oh gosh, that's terrible. 1, 1, so that's 2, 4, 6, oh my goodness, and 7 is 13. What? 2, 4, 6. That's only 13. So that's going to put them up to 37. Oh, shit, drop that. 37. So got off very lightly there. 1, 2, 4, 6 plus the 7 is 13. Man, that stinks. Sorry, Chris. Sorry, not sorry. My tech sucks, and turns out my income die rolls suck, and it turns out most of my combat sucks. So here we are. All right, so the Japanese had 37 to spend. They're going to spend it all. So they've got a transport for 7. We're going to finish the fleet carrier, which is going to put the Americans up another 1. So that's up to 38 now. So that's 12, and then we've got another 4 infantry, 3 apiece, that's another 12. Then we've got 2 militia upgrades, so they're 4 each. So 4 plus 8, so that's 8 plus 3 is 11. And then we've got the last militia here for 2, so that's everything. So let's add it up again, because I can't do math. 12, 24, 24 plus 11 is 35, and the 2 is 37, so that's a lot. Combats, we have a bunch. I've got my choke scratchings here. Hopefully I don't mess this up. Let's see. All right, so I am going to use my surprise attack this turn. And I'm going to, it probably looks like a boring surprise attack, but we're going to bring, so we've got a, a major port here in Formosa. So the fleet carrier, the fighter and tactical are going to come 1, 2, 3 into P60. The planes will have a movement. They get a +1 movement and first strike on the first turn. So they will have a movement of 5. So that gives them 1 into 42, 2 into 41, 3 into 60, 4 into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay. So that gets them to Borneo, and then landing back into P60 on the carrier. So that's that first part of that first battle. That's where our first strike will be, with the carrier there. All right, joining them will be one, what have I got? Sorry about this. 1 transport with 2 Marines. So 1 transport will come from the card here in P41 and collect, so we'll come down 1 into P50, 2 into 51, 3 into P60, and drop off 2 Marines I don't want to go 2 Marines. Why did I do that? Well, how about we go 1 Marine, 1 Infantry? That makes way more sense. 1 Marine, 1 Infantry into Borneo. So it's the first battle. Should be changing stuff on the fly. I always screw things up when I do that. All right, so that's our surprise attack. Then we've got going into... let's get this right. Okay, so battle number 2 will be 2 tacticals flying out of Kwang Tung. So from Kwang Tung, 2 tacticals will leave with a movement of 4. So they're going to come 1, 2, 3 into British Malaya, and they will land 4 into Siam. Okay, so I'll just put them there. They got a movement of 1 left. Joining them in that battle will be 2 destroyers with 2 Marines. So coming off the card here in P41 will be 2 destroyers with 2 Marines coming down 1 into P50 to conduct that amphibious assault. Jam everything in there. So we should have 2 Marines with the 2 destroyers into British Malaya. Also will be 1 transport with 2 infantry. So coming from the card will be 1 transport coming down 1 into P50 and dropping off 2 infantry into British Malaya. Okay, joining them in that amphibious assault will be a battleship and the where am I? Battleship. Well, I've got the destroyers, haven't I? Battleship and a TBD. Soak up ahead if I get more than 1. And I think that's that. And did I want to bring anything else for a bombard? I'm so thin, it's crazy. All right, also coming into that battle will be a fighter from Kwang Tung with a movement of 4, 1 into 41, 2 into P50, 3 into British Malaya, and will land into Siam. So that one's from the card. Hopefully everyone's keeping track of all this. So amphibiously assaulting will be the 2 destroyers, our transports, that's 3 ships. And then I've got the battleship and the TBD. So they're all the assaulting ships into British Malaya. So obviously, and hopefully I don't lose anything into there, ships-wise. All right, that's that battle. All right, going into Hong Kong will be 1 infantry from Kwang Tung. We'll be marching forward into Hong Kong, and joining in that battle will be 2 fighters. Now Hong Kong should be surrounded because we've got ships there. Oh no, it does have an airfield, it won't be surrounded. It does have an airfield. So 2 fighters and an infantry into Hong Kong. That's the next battle. All right. Going into P59 from P50 will be heavy cruiser, light cruiser. So heavy cruiser, light cruiser into P50, which is, P59. So 1 into, from P50, 1 into 51, 2 into, what's that one there? P60, 3 into 61. What else did I have into that battle? I've done Hong Kong, done that battle. I think I was bringing something else into that battle. Oh yeah, so I'll bring the fleet submarine into that battle too, so that'll join. I didn't ask if they wanted, if Chris wants to, what do you call it, submerge his submarine, but I'm assuming he probably would because there's 3 ships there. It's probably not wise, so, but if not, we can always PB it, it's not a biggie. All right. From Quangtung, 1 Marine and 1 infantry aboard a, actually no, we need to do these ships. So P-61, where's the other ships? Okay, heavy cruiser and the light cruiser. And I've already moved those. Get myself turned around here. Okay, so we've got a battle cruiser here that we'll use, that'll go into what is that? P-59, and joining that will be a fleet sub. So in there's the coastal sub and the transport. I'm assuming he'll probably not participate with the coastal, but again, if we need to, we can go back on that. That's easy enough. All right, so we've got that. We've got British Malaya, we've got that one. All right, so then we've got from the Quangtung, 2 Marines on 1 transport are going to come. Oh crap! Knocked everything everywhere. So from the card here, we're going to take 2 Marines. I'm running out of stuff here. And they're going to come from P-41 out of the major port, 1, 2, and they're going to just dump 1 Marine into Celebes and 1 into Molucca Islands. So that's that. What have I got left? I've got 1 Marine and a tactical. I thought I had something. Oh yeah, that's right. So from from P-41, we've got a transport picking up 1 Marine. That's going to come 1 into P-50 and going to assault into Sumatra there. And joining them in that battle will be the tactical of Quangtung. So that's the last tactical, last plane left, with a movement of 4, 1 into P-41, 2, 3, and where was my landing? Oh, okay, and the landing point should be onto this light carrier here, onto in P-50. So let's just double check that. 1 into 41, 2 into P-50, and that 3, 4. So that should be okay. So that'll have a movement of 1 left. And I think that is all the battles. I think I've screwed something up here. I'm pretty sure I have. Because I think I was supposed to land in New Guinea. Damn. All right, so instead of taking, we've got 1 more transport left that hasn't moved. So I'm going to just save that 1 infantry. So 1 infantry will land on Celebes, and then the other one will come out 1 into, from the card. So from P-41, 1, 2, 3. So from the major port, that'll be the last transport, and that'll be a walk-on for Dutch New Guinea. So I think that was what I had in mind, because why am I taking that up, that territory? That doesn't mean much. Okay, so I think that's all our combats. So, all right, so that battle there. So let's just do the walk-ons first. So we'll take Celebes. So that's going to be up 1. And so that's just taken with a Marine. So the Brits go down 1, Japs go up 1. That's not worth a bonus. Dutch New Guinea, that's another 1. So that's up 1 for the Japanese to 33. Brits go down to 34. And okay. All right, let's now start doing some of these combats. All right, so we first will do the surprise attack here in in Borneo. So these aircraft will land back on the fleet carrier. So going into there, it's mountains. We're coming in from this side, so there's nothing else to... I guess what's a surprise attack? So there's no scramble. But so what we're going to do is hit Borneo. There's no scramble for this. This could scramble, I think, ordinarily because there's a seaplane base. But there's no scrambling on the surprise attack. So we've got first strike with the tactical and the fighter. So let's get that out of the way. So the tactical at a 7 misses. The fighter at a 6. Oh, God damn it. That misses. All right, so then we've got the landing marine and infantry. So they're both going to be at 1 because it's mountains. And they miss. All right, so he's reduced on his first round because it's a surprise attack, so he's at a 1. Okay, he misses. All right, so round 2. So now we've got the tactical at a 7. Oh, gosh. Fighter at a 6. Jeepers. And then the 2 at 1, infantry marine. Oh, boy. All right, so now he's at 2s. That misses. Okay. Now we're back to the tactical at a 7. That misses. Fighter at a 6. Jeez. Oh my. 2 at 1. They miss. His militia at 2. This better not be a sign of things to come. Tactical at a 7. That finally hits. And his militia. Okay, so Borneo falls, the seaplane comes off, the militia comes off. Just so we don't completely screw this up, we'll land the tactical and the fighter back on the fleet carrier. We take Borneo. It is worth 2. So let's sort that out real quick. So that's worth $2. So 2 for us, so we go to 35, the Brits go to 32, and we pick up the bonus for Borneo. Okay, next battle. All right, so let's do this one here in Java. So there's 1 tactical and 1 marine versus 1 militia. And I think there was the bombard there, wasn't there? So there was the bombard. No, there's no bombard. Did I not moving those other guys? No, I didn't. Yeah, all right. I think I might have screwed that up. Oh, surprise, it's rushing again. All right, so let's go. The tactical at a 7. That hits, and his militia at a 2. There's a 7. So we take Sumatra, with 1 marine. Geez, these battles are thin. And we go up 2, so that's to 37, and the Brits go down 2 to 30, and we pick up 2 for Java. So that's nice. All right, the tactical had a movement of 1 left, so he'll just land back in Siam. Or no, I had him landing on the carrier. That's right. I had him landing on the carrier. All right, so that's battle. That battle is done. Battle is done. All right, let's do the naval battle down here in P61. We've got a fleet sub, a destroyer, and so we've got a heavy cruiser, light cruiser, fleet sub versus destroyer and fleet sub. So there would be 2 first strikes. So we've got a first strike at a 3. That misses. So we've got light cruiser at a 5. That misses. Heavy cruiser at a 6. That hits. So he'll lose something. And then if his fleet sub fires, that's a 1, and that would be a target select. So he'll probably take out my heavy cruiser and lose his destroyer at this point. And then he's got his destroyer. As that misses. So, you know, if he chooses to, it's 1 round. I can't engage him in the second round because I haven't got anything to attack, and he's not going to want to anyway. But we would have lost a heavy cruiser if he chooses to engage. And so left in that C zone will be the Dutch fleet sub and the Japanese and the Japanese light cruiser. So not a good trade there for us at all. So that kind of sucks. All right, let's go on now with, where was I? All right, this last battle. Oh, let's do Hong Kong. So Hong Kong has a militia. There's 1 infantry and 2 fighters. So Hong Kong. So the infantry, it's mountains. So the infantry, let's do the 2 fighters. So 2 fighters at 6. And we get a hit, luckily. So that's a 6. And then he's got his militia back at a 3. And that's a 6. So we take Hong Kong with 1 infantry. Okay, so those guys had a movement of 3 left. Okay, and they're also going to be landing 1 into 41, 2 into P50, 3 into Siam. So I'll probably need a card here for Siam. So we take Hong Kong. So Japanese up to 39 and the British down to 28 so far. All right, last battle is in British Malaya. So this could be tricky. So he's got 3 coastal, he's got the coastal gun firing 3 shots at 3, because there's more than, he can fire a maximum of 3. Oh, god damn it. And of course he hits 1, so we'll take a damage on the battleship. Where's the damage marker? So we take a damage on the battleship. That one there. Okay. All right, so going into this battle will be, he's got 2 first strikes, so let's get those out of the way. And I've got first strikes as well. So I've got the 1 first strike, which will be the damage of battleship now. So I think that's going to just be at a 3 because it's damaged. Or would it be at the same time? Ooh, let's just roll it anyway. It gets a 1, so that's good anyway. So he'll lose 1 militia straight off the back from the bombard. That's a good start for me. So he's down to 1 infantry and 1 militia. Okay, now we've got the 2, he's got 2 first strikes. So he's got 2 first strikes at 5. Yep. So he gets 1. All right, so we'll lose 1 Marine off the destroyer. That sucks. All right, so we're now down to 1 Marine and 3 infantry, and the 2 tacticals and a fighter. All right, so let's do the 2 tacticals. So they get 2 hits. So that's his last 2. So an infantry and a infantry and militia hit. Okay, so now he's down to, so we've done the first strikes. This is still the first round. So his infantry at a 4 misses. His militia in a fortification, actually the infantry would have been at a 5. His militia at a 3, also misses. So we take British Malaya with 3 infantry and a marine. So we take that. That is worth 2, so that brings the Brits down to 26, and the Japanese go to 41. We pick up the bonus for British Malaya. I think hopefully that's correct. Let's land these aircraft all into Siam. So that's the 2 tacticals and the fighter. So now in Siam there should be 3 fighters and 2 tacticals and a militia at this point. In British Malaya there should be 3 infantry and a marine. We'll get rid of that because that's now gone. Okay, so that's that. Let me just make sure the income is correct because, yeah, so their wartime for the Brits is 25. So maybe they should be at 27 because I didn't take the Lesser Sunda Islands and I didn't take Java, which is also worth, so that's 3. So maybe I've stuffed up somewhere. But that should be, perhaps should be 20, so 20, there should be 26 plus 3. I think that should be 29. Oh no, they lost Hong Kong. That's right. And that's going to take them, I've stuffed this up because Hong Kong's FEC, haven't I? Damn it. Okay, so, bugger. But that went British, so that is British. It's only Hong Kong that is FEC, so FEC should be 12. And I think the Brits should be 29. Double check me on that one. Make sure that's correct. All right, let's get to some non-combat. We've got a bit of non-combat to do. All right, so from P41 on the card, we've got the TBDs. So they're going to come 1, 2 into P41. That'll be one of them. And then the third, with a movement of 3, 1, 2, 3 into P52. So there's 2 TBDs, TBD and the transport there. Also will be, that's all moved. Gosh, I haven't got much at all. So thin. Okay, we're going to bring the light cruiser from P41. It's going to come 1, 2 into P51 and join that fleet. So that'll be there with the transport and TBD. And then from P41 will be another destroyer, which will travel 1, 2, 3 into P52. And then they'll just be with that fleet there. So there'll be a TBD, destroyer, and a transport in P52. So in P41, the 3 heavy cruisers will go in port. So they'll be in port in Kwang Tung. And we can get rid of this card because there's nothing else on it. So that's that. I really hope I'm not screwing up these turns for you guys, but there we go. All right, so from Hunan, 1 infantry will march down into Kwang Tung. So that'll go onto the card there. From Shantung, from Rehe, 1 infantry will rail all the way down to Kwang Tung. I'll join that. So there's now 2 infantry and a militia there. One infantry from Yunnan will step back 1 into Kwangtung. So there's 2 infantry in Yunnan and 3 infantry in Kwangtung. A few spicy targets for the KMT if they want to have a dash. Okay, from Shantung, 1 infantry will come down to Hunan. From Beiping, 3 infantry will march back into Suyan. So that'll be now 7 infantry in there, and I'll chip that out a bit better later. It's about everything's moved. It's been a crazy turn. All right. So out of position. This is not ideal. All right. So from no, I think that's all we can. I think that's all we are going to be doing this turn. So let's get to place units. All right, so the transport and the fleet carrier will go down in P15 in port there at Kyushu. So I'll get an import marker there. The militia will go into Yunnan. So it will be 2 infantry and a militia in Yunnan. Into Kwangtung will be a militia upgrade militia. So it'll just be another infantry there. So that takes us up to 3, 4 infantry and a militia. The militia upgrade militia will go into Siam. So now we've got an infantry and a militia there. And we've got our infantry. So 1 will go into Rihe. And then we've got 4 more infantry that we can place, and they're all going to go to, we'll put 2 into Kyushu, and then we'll put 2, where do we want to go? Let's put them all into Kyushu, because that'll be our 4 build allotments for there. All right, hopefully that all made sense. I know it was a really long turn. Hopefully I didn't royally screw anything up too majorly. All right, let's look at income. Okay, so income-wise, we are at... So I have us at 41 base. And then for the Chinese territories, so it's Beiping, Hopei, Shantung, Nanking, Hunan, Kwangtung. So that's 6 more. So that's 47. Then I've got British Malaya, 49, Borneo, 51, Java, 53. Not Java, Sumatra. Wrong magnet. Sumatra. Where's Sumatra? I didn't get a bonus for Sumatra. Thought you did. Apparently not. All right, so that would be 6, 47, 49, 51, if I'm correct. Let me know if I've made any giant mistakes. It was a bit of a tricky turn. All right, thanks for watching. Actually, before I do that, quick disposition. Geez, keep forgetting those. All right, so if the submarine participated in that battle, oh gosh, low power. If that submarine participated in that battle, then it'll be 1 light cruiser, 1 fleet submarine in P61. In P52, transport, TBD destroyer. P51, light cruiser, TBD transport. In C-Zone P60, transport with a fleet carrier, fighter tactical. Celebs will be a marine. Sumatra is a marine. Borneo is a marine infantry. In P50, there's a damaged battleship. one regular battleship, which I didn't use for some bizarre reason, a TBD. I think I was supposed to bombard with that one. I just forgot. A TBD, 3 destroyers, a light carrier with a tactical, 2 transports. That's that. In British Malaya, there is 3 infantry and a marine. In Siam, there is 3 fighters, 1 infantry, 1 militia, 2 tacticals. Hong Kong, 1 infantry. In Kwangtung, there's 4 infantry and a militia. Yunnan, 2 infantry, militia. In Hunan, 1 infantry, militia. Nanking, 1 militia. Shantung, 1 militia. Beiping, 1 militia. 1 infantry in Beiping with a cavalry, motorized, and a artillery. I think I was going to move them. Let's move the motorized and the artillery out into Suyon and put that up there. So Beiping, 1 infantry and 1 cavalry. In Suyon, there is 7 infantry because there's 2 green chips here. 7 infantry, artillery, motorized, cavalry, militia. Northern Manchuria, 1 infantry. Rihe now has 3 infantry. Kyushu in port, 1 transport, 1 fleet carrier. Infantry-wise, there was 3 here, 4, 5, 6, 7 infantry and 2 marines. Tokyo, 2 infantry, and then all the islands, Volcano, Bonan militia, Palau militia, Caroline Islands militia, Marshall Islands militia, coastal sub, P-36, P-22 is a fleet sub and a coastal sub. I think that's everything. All right, turning it over now to the Brits and Panzer J. Thanks for watching.